And now bringing you that hard, hitting fight analysis, submitting you into paralysis. Josh Thompson head kicking leg to dome, and Big John McCarthy saying let's get it on.
Well, it's Tuesday night and the Weighing In podcast is live once again. My man's wearing his championship shirt, hoping that the Chiefs will someday come back.
No. Setri Saunas, baby. You know all about these champions, baby. Setri Saunas, you guys check them out. Check their Instagram. They are awesome. All hand built saunas, absolutely amazing. They send them out. Meet with a couple of fighters. Brent Primus got one delivered to him. They handcraft them, bring them to your house. They are absolutely amazing. Hands down, the best saunas I've ever been in. Outside of the ones in Russia. Outside of the ones in Russia. I've been in the ones in Russia. They're just, I don't know if it's just because it's always cold there in Russia.
Yeah, it is cold there.
But these are awesome, man. Absolutely. Setri Saunas are absolutely fantastic. Love them. Check them out.
Dude, can they get hot? Hello. Jesus.
You can use a little heat sometime, buddy.
Dude,
maybe you don't melt some of that butter off the sides.
Dude, I got a lot of butter.
Yeah, that's what I've been told.
But not anymore, man.
Dude,
I've already lost a bunch of the butter.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. About 25 now.
Oh, geez. Wow.
Going down.
Not really showing in your face, but.
Yeah, well, that's the way it is.
But, John, we've got a huge show, man. And obviously, the news across. We've got to put the lay of the land and lay this all out. There's so many moving parts to this with Rajah Jackson. And, you know, I did a little bit of a take on this the very first day it came out on my Bad Takes channel with Angelo. We talked a little bit about it, but I wanted to talk with you more so about it because, like, you know Quentin really well. I know Quentin really well. I don't know his son, Rajah, at all. So I saw some people in the comments going, oh, Josh going to say he's the nicest guy. And I'm like, I've never met him. You know, I've met his other son, but I never met Rajah at all. And so I don't know anything about him. I've never crossed paths with him, not that I'm aware of, but there is a lot going on in this whole breakdown. And I saw Chael's response. I saw Brendan Shaw's response. I saw there were so many media people talking about this. It's been a huge story, not in any of the good ways, John. Now, look,
how can I? Here's the one thing to think about. And this is as I was looking at this whole thing is. There's two ways of looking at it, but the problem is this: you're looking at it, and people they're trying to give some type of, you know, forgiveness because it's Quentin, not because it's Rajah, because it's Quentin. It's Quentin Jackson that is the person that you've got to feel sorry for. Okay, in the fact that, you know, he's hooked up in this when he's not the one that took part in this. And that's a sad thing because he's a father and he loves his son. And it's sad to see someone go through something of this magnitude when it's the last thing in the world you would have told your son to go through with.
Well, let's go ahead and set the stage. So basically he was at this event where he obviously is live streaming his whole life. Basically he's out there live streaming everything he does, just like Quentin is now, but they've, you know, Rajah's got his own platform that he's building up and trying to build on. He has an MMA fight. I believe he's 0-1 in MMA, but he also had talked about doing some pro wrestling. Was at this event. He was being recorded. The wrestler, Sicko Stu was thinking that it was Psycho Stu thought that they were being filmed for wrestling. So he grabs a can and smashes it on Rajah's head, not realizing that that's
his a setup can too, though.
Yeah, but
it doesn't have full pressure.
No, but that was Rajah's camera. Yeah. And so it was his setup, it was his editor, producer, it was his camera guy that was filming everything. It wasn't the wrestling organization setting up. Yeah. So, you know, obviously there was a little bit of confrontation, there was a little bit of a breakup. And then Rajah Sicko Stu, Psycho Stu comes to him and goes, "Hey man, I'm sorry." They apologize. They hash it out.
Okay. So what does that mean?
That means we should have been able to move on.
Hello.
Yeah, John. And so, okay, so then that goes on. Now let me tell you a little bit about Psycho Stu because I actually had to do a little bit of research on this. I'm not a pro wrestling guy whatsoever. I used to be when I was a kid. It's funny that I say that, but you know, I do another show called Dad Dojo with Bobby Lashley, who's an AEW wrestler, former WWE wrestler, all that stuff. But Psycho Stu is a wrestler who smashed a can over but he also is a former Army veteran. He basically started doing pro wrestling to kind of get away from, he was suffering from PTSD, and just kind of helped him settle his nerves. He enjoyed the action, all of these things. And it kind of helped him, get back to a normal lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then that all led to, the two of them basically being not confrontational, but just thinking that it was more of a work or more of a just kind of working with each other when the cameras are on, setting the stage for something maybe potentially to come. So then Raja shows up at the wrestling match later. The promoter apparently tells him that, hey, you can go ahead and go up in there, pick him up, slam him, go ahead and lay a shot on him, and then someone's going to jump in and break it up. Well, that's what the reports are. And I haven't heard the video or the audio of that. I've heard everything else, people talking about it, but I heard it was okayed by the promoter that he was allowed to go in there, slam him, jump on him, and then hit him. And then when he did that, people would come in and break it up. Well, no one came in to break it up. No. So there's for me, there is that, the fact that like the promoter should have had all these wrestlers better prepared. That's one. But then let's carry on. Before this all happens, there's the other wrestler. What's the other wrestler? AJ Mana. This guy is basically in the back telling him, hey, he smashed the can over your head. Go out there and get your receipts. Go out there and, get him back. And then, so he's kind of getting Raja hyped up, kind of getting him to realize, yeah, you know what that means, right? Go out there and get it. You get yours. Now, I know that when we talk about, get your receipts, go out there and get yours, like isn't get it back. Get the shot back that he laid down.
One shot. That's what a receipt is. You got a cheap shot, I'll give you one back. That's what a receipt is in pro wrestling.
Okay. I didn't know that. This must be old man pro wrestling talk. So, so then that leads, and then Doug is apparently the wrestler who came in, had to stop Raja because no one else, which is fucking insane.
Yeah.
None of the other wrestlers that were in there, not even a fucking referee, John, decided to jump in.
First off, he's not a referee.
No. I understand that. Look, the referee, but look, I want to even point this out. This is how stupid this is. Even after this guy Doug comes in and stops Raja from beating Psycho Stu, the referee, someone jumps on him and pins him, and the ref still counts it. Yeah. Like, dude, he is bleeding. He's obviously knocked out. You have no idea what you're looking at. He is choking on his own teeth and his own blood and starts convulsing basically. And you're still there fucking counting. And you have this guy come in, Doug comes in, basically you're shocked. You're kind of shocked by that.
But Josh, this referee is not there for true physical confrontation. He's there as part of an entertainment thing. That's all he knows. He doesn't get any of this. Okay,
John,
he's doing his bit.
John, to be a fucking human being.
I'm not saying that.
Like, it doesn't take much to understand to be a fucking human being. Like this whole thing.
There's a difference. There's a difference between you, who is used to combat, used to seeing real fighting, difference with me, than there is the average person out there. They don't even understand it. They don't understand that he was out on the fucking slam.
Yeah, I get that part. I can understand that part. Not, maybe he's thinking it's a bit at that point, but then when he hits him and hits him again and hits him again, and there's blood on your shirt, and then you see maybe his teeth fucking coming out. Like, maybe this is a good time for me to step in. Like, oh, this is maybe for real. It is.
I agree with you. Real. I agree with you. But people panic and freeze. It's normal. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's right. So you're right. He's standing there like a fool.
Well, my 10-year-old would understand when someone's teeth go flying or they come out. Like, it's probably a good time to tell someone to stop.
How many times have you seen people in, we'll say, a street fight freeze? A lot.
Not like
you do,
this, John.
Yeah,
no.
dude, you do. Look, you see it all the time because they're not used to seeing.
I don't look at it as freezing because of that. I look at it as freezing because they're scared to jump in because they're thinking Roger's going to kick his ass too. If
that's what it is, then he's absolutely a coward.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know what's crazy is I saw just a video the other day of a 19-year-old riding a bull. He falls off, gets knocked out. His body's going into seizures. His dad jumps in, and the bull makes his way back around, and the dad covers his son. and the bull hits his dad instead of him.
Tell me you wouldn't do the same.
Absolutely.
Fucking A.
Absolutely. But I'm simply saying that you have men like this who didn't jump in and say anything. But let's start from the top. First off, it's the promoter. The promoter, first off, like, look, I understand, get in there, jump in there, get the slam. I get it. But like, if you're a promoter, you need to be standing right there, cage side. You need to be standing, not cage side, ringside. You need to be in there when you have someone who is not a professional in any way, shape, or form. He is 0-1 as an MMA fighter. And this is in no way am I taking a dig at him in his career, but I'm simply saying he has no experience as an MMA fighter other than his dad. Being around the sport doesn't mean that you're a good MMA fighter, as it's proven. Like, he's 0-1. So that I put a lot of blame on the promoter, because the promoter should have understood that, look, even though you're sure you're Quentin's son, even though sure you have MMA fights, this is pro wrestling. This is different. You need to learn how to work. That's one, which is crazy, because I believe the promoter is a former WWE wrestler. He should know that. He should understand that people, like, not everyone is good at pro wrestling, and how he slams him and how he can knock him out, how he can hurt him. All of those things you would expect someone to know that is the promoter. And so he should have been standing by and realizing that this could go downhill real quick. I need to make sure I keep a careful eye on this. Let's see what happens. That obviously was not done. Knowing what Psycho Stu has been through in his life as a promoter, you should have known that as well and been like, hey, something bad could happen here. He's obviously in a good place right now. He's a pro wrestler. He's doing well, but I've got to stand by for this too. What happens if he just all of a sudden freaks out and starts throwing punches? They end up in a fist fight. Anything could have happened. There was already bad blood from earlier. I look at that. And then this whole thing with the AJ Mana thing, or however you say his name, Mana, whatever, in the back, telling him to get his receipts.
That's the guy with the cowboy hat?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. I guess where I'm at with that though, John, is I wanted to go back to you on this and say, hey, is this something that can be held against him when this does go? This is going to go to court. This is going to go all the way down. Someone's going to go to jail, maybe more than one person. So
you're right.
Where do you put him in this whole situation? The guy who is telling him, go get your receipts.
That's going to be a hard one for someone to prosecute based upon what he's talking is. Again, MMA has a language, right? You can sit there and talk about, all these different things holds with someone else that's part of MMA, and it's in, you're conversing. You could say those same terms to someone that doesn't watch MMA. They got no idea what the hell you're talking about. You're talking a foreign language. It's the same thing with pro wrestling. Pro wrestling has a language. Oh, yeah. And what that guy is doing is speaking his language and saying it to someone that doesn't understand it. Raja doesn't understand it as far as the level that you take it to. And I'm not saying it won't come back and bite that person in the butt, and he might actually be held as an accessory towards it based upon the fact that he was trying to, in their terms, will be instigate that to happen. But look at this, all comes back to one person. Let's put the blame where it belongs, and it belongs on Raja Jackson. And as much as I love Quentin and I hate for him to have to go through this as a father, you cannot be there at all times. And your son is young. I have, my sons are all grown up, but there's times when, they're going to go do something. You're saying, hey, don't do something stupid that's going to alter your life. Okay. Be smart. And I used to say that line all the time, because young men do stupid things, and those stupid things can alter your life forever. And unfortunately, Raja went and did a fucking stupid thing. He thought that, I have to get mine back. And the problem, part of his problem is, as you said, he's live, as far as everything that he's putting out. Well, he presented the case for the district attorney who's going to get this thing, because they're going to get it. And he presented everything that they need. He talked throughout it. He said all of these different things. He said that he premeditated it. I'm going to go fuck him up. Okay. While the wrestler, Stu, what is he expecting? He knows, hey, there's a guy that's going to come in. He's going to pick me up. He's going to slam me, and I'm going to, do my bit. But he's playing a part. He's part of the entertainment. As soon as Raja slammed him the way he did, if it had ended there, you never would have had anything. He could have knocked him out, right? And it would have ended because it was, well, he was supposed to pick him up and slam him. Unfortunately, his head hit, it was too hard of a slam. His head hit, hard, and it, knocked him unconscious. Very similar to what, his dad has done to other people in MMA. But when he jumped on an unconscious person and then started throwing punches, 22 unanswered blows, okay, you're talking about attempted murder. You're not talking about battery. You're not talking about assault. You're not talking about aggravated assault. He'll be lucky. They're going to trust me, they're going to put that thing up at attempted murder. And he'll be lucky if he pleads out that they'll bring it down to something like aggravated assault, because that's where it's headed. And I hate to say that, but I've seen it in the past, and Raja stepped so far into it with what he did. And it was so, this is one person attacking another person. Yeah, it was in a pro wrestling ring. And yeah, Psycho Stu knew that he was going to come in. And yeah, he knew he was going to get slammed. He didn't know someone was going to waylay him for 22 shots while he was unconscious. And no one should have ever allowed that. You're right about the promoter. You're right about the referee. But they, there was the one guy who finally jumped in there.
Doug. His name is Doug, I guess. I don't know what his stage name is or whatever it is, but
he finally, and you can see Raja starting to fight him.
Yeah.
No matter what anyone wants to say, he tried to double leg that guy. The guy kind of, stalled it out and, had more people coming in. But everything that, that moment in time where Raja Jackson decided to do that and then basically, took it to fruition, that's a moment in time that he's going to forever wish, I screwed up.
Yeah.
Because he did. There's nothing else you can say.
Yeah. I'm going to pay this from Doug, the guy who jumped in and stepped in. There was things that he was talking about. Do you have it there, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and play his soundbite, because he had some words about Raja at the end. He's like, look, I wasn't trying to fight you. I was just trying to get you to
Just
stop
trying to get him off.
my boy.
Yeah.
And so let's go ahead and play that audio there, Dave.
Breaking him up and he shoots a fucking double leg on me. By the way, work a better fucking double leg, you fucking prick. And then I'm telling you to fucking calm down. I'm not even fucking fighting. I'm not even being fucking hostile. Then you're trying to fucking work and get lower, do this, change positions, and I'm over here having to swim with you, all this other shit. And then you fucking punch me in the fucking eye after we're breaking it up, you fucking loser. That's why you got fucking headbutt, and that's why I fucking punch you, and you're fucking lucky I was tired from the match before this. What kind of fucking person are you? You fucking low-life fucking clown. You want fucking clout, so you beat up a guy that's fucking half unconscious. You punch a guy that's trying to break up a fight and not even trying to fight you. I wasn't even trying to fucking hurt you. The fuck is wrong with you?
So do you think he wanted to continue beating up Stu?
I think he would have killed him.
If you didn't stop it, right?
I promise you he would have killed him. He would have killed me if he would have got the best of me. If he would have took my legs out from under me like he was trying to, he was going to do the same thing to me that he did to Stu. Clearly, you watch the stream when he's walking away. I'm tired of people fucking with me. I don't care how many times you've been fingered in your life, bro. I don't give a fuck. If you got a problem with the world and the people around you, change the people around you. Change it up a little bit. Go to therapy. Get some help. Don't take it out on everybody else. And then you want to train by one of the best fighters to ever live, your father, use his clout, use his knowledge, and then you want to hurt people that don't train like that? You're a fucking bully. You're a bitch. Fuck you.
I mean, he said a lot of what everyone's thinking right now. And like, John, I want to go back to what you said to start this whole conversation off. I think everyone is more upset not upset, but we're more concerned that Quentin's
concerned about Quentin.
Yeah. Quentin has been a friend to, I think, almost every single person that's probably watching this podcast or that has been that we've been close to. And I've done fight campaigns with Quentin. I mean, I've been on the Jackson podcast. I've just been around Quentin. I mean, we've been to strip clubs together. Quentin is a great dude, man. Just fun to be around. And he's got a big heart, man. Like, people, I don't know, like, it's a shitty situation for him to be in. And it's your son.
Horrible.
So nothing that you can say can change any of this. And there's no easy, John, not that anybody wants an easy way out for Raja, but there's just no easy way out. There's no way that I can sit here I've never met the kid. There's no way I can sit here and say like, you know what? Like it could have been done differently this way, or could have been done differently this way. No. As soon as you saw him go unconscious and you landed one shot, it should have been done. Like, oh shit, I didn't know he was unconscious when I slammed him, and then I jumped on and hit him and he didn't reply. You should know. You've trained enough to know when someone gets knocked out. You fucking know.
Yeah.
It just is so upsetting that you put your family in this situation. You not just your dad, but all the other people that are close to you. You put them in this situation.
Josh, think about it. And I don't know. You know how people are, and the social media and stuff. And Quentin has been putting himself on there. Do you realize what people are probably saying to him right now? Do you realize the people that are going after him, like, he had, you raised that kid and all that stuff. And it's like, you can raise the greatest kid in the world.
Yeah.
And Raja might be one of the greatest kids in the world. And he makes a huge mistake, and any kid can make it. Let's be honest. You did some dumb things in your life. I did some dumb things in my life. Dave's the only one that's been perfect.
Exactly.
Okay? You're right. But I mean, you don't think Quentin is dying right now inside about this whole thing, wishing that he could have been there to make sure that it didn't happen and stuff, but there's nothing you can do. Like you take your kids, you raise them as good as you can, you do the best, and then you set them free, and hopefully they take, the things that you've taught them, and they take them to heart, and they do the right things. But again, it only takes that one fucking stupid moment. This is why I tell kids, hey, don't drink and drive. Don't do these things. If you've had anything to drink, I used to tell my kids, you have anything to drink, you need a ride, you call me. You will not be in trouble. I will not.
There's no reason.
No, I will not come down on you. I will come get you, because it's that important that you don't make that mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel horrible for Quentin. I do. I feel horrible for him, because, man, there's nothing at this point that he can truly do to help his son.
There's nothing. There's not one thing.
Nothing.
And
as a father,
mm-hmm.
Tell me how that makes you feel.
There's two things that I fear the most. I mean, like, basically, one is having to bury one of my children.
That's
one, like, no parent should ever have to bury their child. No. And two is watching your child be walked away in handcuffs and being like, hey, he's doing 10 years. There's 10 years I'm never going to get back.
Nope.
I had a family member that went through something, drinking and driving, manslaughter, this kind of situation. Gone. She was for 12 years, 10 years, she was in prison. During that time, my grandmother passed, who helped raise her, and she was broken down. It killed her inside.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that you'll never get back. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if a family member is going to get cancer during that time. You don't know if you're going to be around when they get out. You don't know any of those things.
No.
And so the fact is that Raja could go to jail for 15 to 20, maybe 20 to 25 to 30, somewhere in there. He could go to jail for a fucking long time. And his dad may not be there when he comes out. You never know what's going to happen during that time.
No, you're forfeiting that part of your life.
Yeah. All for what?
Over a stupid, let me get him back.
No, John, it's not even that. I want to say this too. I've noticed, though, in the last probably 10 years, maybe like somewhere in the last 10 years, what is it with young males? I know I saw a lot of people going, young black males. No, young males feel right. Like, it's this thing of like, don't disrespect me. It's just weird.
You were there too. Let's be honest. You were there.
No, I understand it. I understand it. But then, John, that was me when I was like 13, 15, 18. How old is he? 25?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Somewhere around. He's a fucking grown ass man.
Hey,
Like,
how old is
I was already in the UFC when I was 22, 23. I was like, go ahead, try and fucking fight me. Like, that's the mentality that I had at that time. He's
25.
He's 25. You obviously know how to fight. What is this? What is this mentality of don't disrespect me?
He works out at the body shop with McKee's.
But John, the whole video afterwards when he's walking down the street is him, man. They fucking disrespected me. They did this. They did that. I ain't no bitch. What are we talking about?
Oh, I know.
You've trained. Your dad is Quentin Jackson. You've been training your whole life. You train with fucking guys. Antonio McKee's a fucking legend. I don't care what people say. He's the fucking legend in the fight world. You know, and then you're training alongside other great fighters. What are you trying to prove against people that can't fight?
That's the whole thing.
And this whole, oh, you disrespect me. I ain't no bitch. No, fuck that. You fucking around with me. Like that. Was it all worth it? You're going to get 15 to 20 years, maybe more. Maybe more.
Yeah, well, the last thing that I did see was Raja talking to his dad and basically blaming the cameraman for filming it. It's your cameraman.
Take some fucking accountability.
Exactly. Stop putting the blame somewhere where it doesn't belong. Start being a man and saying, I fucked up.
There's not one thing, taking a look at this, there's not one thing that I could say like, oh, I could put the blame on anyone else. I started off with the promoter, like you should have known better, or at least been like more active so it didn't carry on for 22 unanswered blows.
Yeah.
It should have never have got to that point. That's your promotion. Like literally you think if Dana White or Al Heyman or somebody jumped in the fucking ring and even they had it all staged, there's no, you see when Brock Lesnar and DC were in the face off at UFC, 200? I'm sorry, but there was still people there. Like just in case, I'm going to send now in pro wrestling, I'm going to send this amateur pro wrestler, not even amateur, just someone who's never done anything, pro fighter, 0-1. I'm going to send him in there and let him slam a former Army veteran suffering with some PTSD and see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the things that go through my mind before I make dumb decisions. Like the very last thing that goes in my mind is, fuck it. Let's just see what happens. This promoter fucking did the same shit. He literally was like, fuck it. Let's just see what happens. And then he walked out of the arena and allowed Raja to do that. So I put some blame on him. I put majority of the blame obviously on Raja because you should know when somebody's knocked out, like to stop fucking hitting him.
First off, all the blame goes on Raja. I'm not saying the promoter is,
then that's not all the blame, John.
I'm not saying that the promoter is not responsible for lack of judgment. Okay. But he did not know what Raja was going to do. He didn't know.
And you should have been closer to the ring.
I'm not saying you're wrong about that.
You should have had security closer. You should have had
he shirked his responsibilities on what he should have been doing and being in control of what is his promotion. But again, it all goes on one person. The whole thing, the sad part is, you look at, the filming that was done before and you see the whole thing with the incident with the can and you can hear exactly what Psycho Stu says. He goes, how are you going to sell that? Which is exactly what a pro wrestler is thinking. How are you going to make this look good? How are you going to react? Are you going to, are you going to go around the ring holding your head? Are you going to flop onto the, canvas? And, that's all they're thinking about is what's going to work, what's going to sell. And then, he gets into a little bit with, Raja saying, hey, I'll kick your fucking ass. And they get into it. But then he fucking, he tries to shake Raja's hand. Raja does in the beginning. Then Raja goes back and they shake hands. He's, man, I'm sorry. I didn't know. And right there, that's where Raja, as a 25-year-old man, it's over. As soon as you shook his hand off of that saying, okay, it's over.
That's a man's agreement. People call it a gentleman's agreement. It's man to man.
It is.
You look someone in the like if you got your ass kicked and you guys got
he didn't get his ass kicked.
No, I'm saying though, if you got your ass kicked and you guys shook hands, it's over. Okay. If you whoop somebody else's ass and they said, hey, let's just shake hands.
It's one of the things that I say all the time. Yeah, look, men fight. But at least, once you fought with someone, normally you got a little bit of respect for them because they stood up against you. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's good. We're all good. Tell me you didn't have people in, when you were in school that you fought and then later on they actually became your friend.
Yeah. Look, there's not much. I know we can go on and on about this. Like I look at the promoter as being, I would give him, I would say 10% of the blame.
There's some responsibility.
Absolutely. It's your promotion. There's always your responsibility. If something goes wrong in your promotion, it's your fault. And this happened to be his promotion and it's his fault. And then go ahead.
I was going to say, super chat from Nathan Jones. Raja broke a sacred code worse than attempted murder.
Yeah, I don't know what I mean. Yeah, you just when you shake hands with someone, it's over. It's done. You moved on. I don't know what got you riled up in between that and this, whatever it was, but people feeding fuel to your fire. You've got to learn to control your emotions and getting in there, getting amped up, whatever. I understand the excitement of this is a big deal to you and you know, doing it for the gram with having your camera person all around you. But just remember, all of that footage is going to be confiscated and used against you in court.
That's
All
what's gonna sink your ship.
Yep.
Yep.
And unfortunately, man, like you said, he's a grown ass man.
Yeah.
And it's gonna come down on him. His dad's not in any way responsible for this, and it sucks. It really does sucks. Now, I had Dave pull up the GoFundMe page. There is a GoFundMe page for Psycho Stu. If you guys want to donate, look, $2, $1, 50 cents, you know, $250, whatever it is, whatever you guys can donate. Why don't you guys check it out? We'll put the link in the descriptions after the show. And go ahead and load it up there. You guys can go ahead and hit the GoFundMe there for him to help him out. I do know that like Mr. Beast had reached out and asked how to get a hold of him to try to donate as well. I know there's been some other people on the X platform asking how they can donate. I think right now he's at 120,000. There's going to be extensive doctor bills. Extensive.
Oh yeah.
Like basically I was told that 3/4 of his teeth are knocked out.
His whole the whole front part of his upper mandible was broken.
Just say upper teeth, John. Don't try and use big words. Tried to use a word he was not familiar with. Stumbled all the way through it. Got it. I love it. I love it, John. But look, any way you guys can help. Anyway, the link will be down below in the descriptions. Dave's gonna go ahead and put that up.
It's there.
I did see a thing where his brother actually put out a post saying that hey, he's doing okay, you know, so he's gonna make it. There's, you know, a lot of people are saying he might die. He's not gonna die, but he, as you said, he's gonna have some substantial injuries to take care of for a while.
Well, John, I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but to say he's not going to die, yeah, sure, he's maybe not going to die, but we don't know what's going to happen in 2 or 3 days. You know, 22 unanswered blows. You don't know what his
Damn, you are a fucking negative Nancy.
I'm just being I'm being a realist. In 22 unanswered blows, look, we've seen fighters die from one shot in the back of the head.
They've taken CAT scans.
Okay.
He doesn't have a brain bleed, so he's probably gonna be okay.
All right, that's
no negative Nancy.
No negative Nancy. I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm not trying. You know me. I'm always positive Nancy. But in this situation,
positive Paula.
You are Nancy, that's for sure.
No.
There it is.
It does frustrate me a lot. I did see the video afterwards of, you know, Raja basically not taking any responsibility. Not like it just like, oh, the camera guy kept filming me. You are a live streamer. What did you think his job is to film you?
Exactly.
That's his job. And so that's another frustrating part. I know we talked about that for a split second. If you guys can hit the GoFundMe down below in the links in the descriptions, you guys can help out at all. That'd be wonderful. Man, I wish him a very speedy and safe and quick recovery. Very sad situation. Obviously, everyone has talked about it. I know that you know, it's a big deal, man. It's a really big deal that this happened. It's unfortunate that it happened to someone that we all know and care about with Quentin. It's his son. And there's nothing worse for a father to have to go through than have to watch something like this tragically happen with his son involved, knowing that there's nothing you can do to save him.
No.
There's nothing you can do. There's nothing that Quentin Jackson, even if he threw money at it, millions of dollars at it, it's not going to make it go away.
Nope.
It's going to still happen. He's going to go to jail. So we will see what happens as time goes on. But yeah, we wanted to touch on that and talk on that. But hey, we also have let's get into some more positive stuff.
Thank you.
Make sure you guys join us over at OnlyFans. Subscribe to us over there. During our live shows, we do take questions from our OnlyFans channel. Please subscribe to us over there. John and I are launching a new program on that platform here coming up. We'll be doing some giveaways on that platform. So like some major stuff, things that is basically like one of a kinds. So they'll only be available on our OnlyFans channel. There'll be things like ring aprons from old former UFC ring aprons, things like that. There'll also be some like trading cards and t-shirts and old stuff that you wouldn't be able to get anymore. No matter how hard you tried, you probably wouldn't be able to get it. So we'll take a look at some of those items as we go throughout the year, but we're going to looking to start that probably in the next couple of months, probably right around Christmas, which might be some good Christmas, gifts.
That.
But that's a big deal that we're going to try to start doing over there on that platform. So subscribe to us over there. It is free, does not cost you anything. We do engage with our fans more so for tips on that platform. So once we start communicating with you guys and start hitting the mass messages, you guys start replying to us, we will go ahead and comment back to you for some tips. We would appreciate that as well. Thank you guys so much. No different than how you guys do it here with the super chats. We thank you guys so much for supporting us on this platform. So also drink LMNT, use the link down below in the descriptions, and they will send you a free bonus package with every purchase. Podcast Dave, why don't you give us some, let's do something positive. Can we talk about something positive right now?
Yeah, we can go to positive. If you can make positive out of old guys boxing.
Wow, what a jerk.
Nah, we got the MisFits boxing this weekend.
MisFits boxing this weekend. We've got Dern Till and my boy Luke Rockhold getting down, getting after it. I've got a little insight for you on this though, John. The fight was originally scheduled at 185 pounds.
Mm-hmm. It's a little heavier now.
Literally like, and Rockhold, he walks around about 210, somewhere in there, 212. He's pretty chiseled, still looks the look, still trying to carry that Ralph Lauren model around, that body style around. Doing a great job at it, by the way. I'm jealous as hell as I'm over here looking like
always working out.
Pear-shaped old man. Is what I'm looking like these days. I'm looking a little bit more like John every single day.
Damn, you're looking good, baby.
Yeah. This fight, literally like after about a month into training, Luke gets a call basically saying, hey, can we make the fight at 195?
I love that though.
What does that tell you?
Come on. What does it tell you?
I mean, look, Dern Till's dangerous on the feet. He's got quick hands, throws straighter punches than Luke. Luke's got the longer arms, but Dern Till's, I think, probably a tiny bit faster than him. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be,
it'll be competitive.
Yeah. It's going to be a competitive fight. I think it's only 6 rounds. Is it 6 or is it 8?
8.
It's 8. Okay. It's 8. Okay. I'm leaning towards my boy Luke because I'm biased as hell when it comes to my boys.
That's why you
and everyone that watches this show, you guys all know it. You guys all know that I'm biased when it comes to people I've trained with and that I'm close with. So Luke, I think, has got the tools to beat him. The other thing that I think is the focus is Luke is taking this fight extremely serious because he knows that if he doesn't win this fight, the phone's going to stop ringing.
The gravy train stops.
Yeah. And sure, he can take fights after that, but they're going to be fights that don't pay anywhere near what this fight's paying. And so he's got to get back on track. And I think with a win over Dern Till, that puts him right in this conversation.
Yeah, he is back on track.
What do you mean?
He won his last fight. Joe Schilling.
Yeah, he did win the Joe Schilling fight. But no, I'm just telling you though that I don't know what it was, but he didn't get the pop that he was expecting to get off that fight.
Okay.
In terms of phone calls.
Yeah.
In terms of the, picking up the phone, numbers, values, all those things. Now I know the market's not what it was either, a year ago. But I think things are settling down a little bit more now in the economy. Things seem like they're shaping up a bit where promoters are now a little bit more like, okay, let's test the market. This fight is, I think, indicative of if how well he does in this fight is what his next pay scale will be. And I know that he's 100% focused on this fight. There has been no distractions. He has done nothing but eat, sleep, train all day long. Now, I don't know in terms of the style of training. I know it's just all boxing, but I'm simply saying I don't know who his coaches are. I don't know any of that.
Who is his coach?
Because I don't know.
Is it Jason Perillo?
I don't know. I don't know. Oh, is it Jason Perillo? No, it's not. I can tell you it's not.
Okay.
I can tell you that. I can't tell you anything else.
Okay.
No, it's not Jason Perillo. I just know that, look, physically he looks fantastic, but he normally does. I also know that his hands look pretty clean when I was seeing him hit the mitts, but it is mitts.
Yes.
So it's just mitts. I don't want to get too carried away on that. I've been fighting for a long time. I'm not going to put too much stock in how great you look on the mitts.
They don't hit back.
They all hit back. Yeah, they move exactly where your coach wants your hands to be. So I understand that. I think that Luke is the one that's taking this fight a little bit more serious. I also think this helps set up a Jake Paul fight.
Very, very well could.
And
or a Logan Paul fight.
Or Logan Paul. I would probably lean more towards a Logan Paul fight.
Yeah.
I would lean more towards that. Jake, I think, is really trying to. I know he's fighting, 132 pounder next, but he is trying to say he's a real boxer.
Yeah.
By trying to get boxing names to fight him. So I think he might be done with, the MMA guys. But Luke is very compelling, I think. He's got a good look to him. He's marketable, all those things. I like the Logan Paul fight a little bit better. I think to me that's a better fight for Luke.
Yeah.
Jake's a tougher fight. Doesn't mean that Luke can't beat him, but in this take, how do you see the Darren Till and Luke Rockhold fight going?
I honestly looking at it, I didn't know about the difference. I didn't know that they were upping the weight. That does say something because it means someone is not wanting to go through what it takes to come down in weight. There's a lot of reasons that can be for that, but look, Darren Till is a very confident guy when it comes to being on his feet. But I can point out fights where, on his feet, I've seen people, take care of him and put him away. George Masvidal, it was MMA, but there was mostly a stand-up fight. And you can take a look at guys that have taken away the skills that Darren goes in with and nullified a lot of what he does. And that's exactly what Luke has to do. Luke has to be very smart about his range with Darren Till. And every time that Till steps into that range, be ready either to fucking attack it or sit on your counter and hit the counter and make him pay for coming into that range. And if he does that, I see Luke Rockhold winning it. If he doesn't do that and he gets into a brawl with Darren Till, Luke's not a brawler. I'm just going to, flat out say it. That's not his forte. That's why he lost to a guy like Mike Perry.
That's not a knock on him. I mean, he's more of a finesse.
He's a technician.
Yeah.
He's more of a technician. He's more of a finesse fighter. He moves very well. He creates good angles and he takes advantage of you when you don't respond to those angles. And that's what a good fighter does. So I look at Darren Till's a little bit more of the bite down on the mouthpiece guy, go after you. So if he's able to break that range consistently and get his shots off and Luke doesn't respond, Darren Till's going to win the fight.
Got it. John, the next fight on this card is Salt Papi versus our boy Tony Ferguson.
Yeah. This is not a good fight for Tony. I'm just going to be flat out honest. I love Tony. Tony's, a great fucking person as far as, he's confident. He'll take on anybody. He's not a solid stand-up fighter just with his fists.
Mm-hmm.
Tony's very good at crushing space and bringing in elbows, which makes him very effective. Tony's also got, the grappling part that, helps him with his stand-up. Salt Papi may, a lot of people may be looking at him as a joke. He's not. The guy can box. And boxing is a technique and a sport unto itself that you cannot sit there and think that, I can just step in and be successful against someone that's been boxing. And Salt Papi's been boxing. I look at this. I do not think it's a good fight for Tony. I think he's the underdog in this by far. And I'd be very surprised if he came out with a win.
Yeah, he's definitely the underdog. Tony doesn't have the power that Salt Papi has. I think also to the pressure. I think of Salt Papi, like he's going to be able to land the harder, cleaner shots. Tony's very hittable.
Yeah.
Tony doesn't move like he used to move either.
Tony has no head movement.
7-8 years ago, he didn't. He doesn't move that. Even when he did fight before and he was on a tear, he didn't move his head a whole lot.
Yeah.
So getting older, not the movement there. I mean, Salt Papi's literally like this is what he's been doing, training for fights. He may not look like much, but the boy's got some power.
Yeah, he can pop.
Yeah. The next fight on this card as well is another good fight. I can't read it. Sorry, it's not the next fight. It's the Dylan Dennis fight.
Yeah, okay. Warren Spencer and Dylan Dennis.
Yeah. Dylan, look, keeps talking. He's going to get in there and fight. Not a good fight. Dylan just can't box him, John. Like he can't fight.
Well, I think part of it is he doesn't have a lot of pop in his hands.
He needs the money, obviously. He keeps saying he's going to give away $5,000 to the next person who, basically reposts his ex tweet.
Doesn't he still have a lot?
He's running out of money, dog.
Dude, he better give me run out of money with his lawsuit with Logan Paul and his wife, because they're still suing his ass. And he's got to have attorneys to pay. So I'm sure that's not good.
I've never seen Warren Spencer fight. He's 0-0. I've never seen him fight. But look, Dylan Dennis 2-0 in MMA, not in boxing. He's what is he? He's 0-1 in boxing. He lost to Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Which was it wasn't a real boxing match, it was something else. Yeah, I thought it was an exhibition. That's why it's not on his record, I don't think.
Okay.
He
was disqualified.
Oh, that's maybe that's. I think it was the expedition.
Still a loss.
Expedition.
An expedition.
Expedition. Those of you guys I see you guys in the comments. Those you guys are looking for the GoFundMe link. It's in the descriptions down below. I'm not sure if Podcast Dave responded to you guys, but the link is down below in the descriptions for the GoFundMe page for Psycho Stew.
Yep.
Dave, what else you got for us, bud?
So that was it on the card, yeah.
Yeah, that was it on the card. Is there who was the right above them?
Joey Essex and Joao Barboza.
Is Avila on there? Chris Avila?
No.
Okay. I saw he's fighting this weekend as well. I wasn't sure if it was on this card or not.
Maybe he's on that dirty boxing card.
Maybe.
I
think he's fighting, but I'm keeping my eye on him too, though. Keep my eye on him. Nate Diaz's been trying to throw him in front of me just to save his own life.
I don't think he's fighting this weekend.
Okay.
He doesn't show anything scheduled.
Oh, I thought he was scheduled for this. Maybe he fought last weekend. Did he fight last weekend?
Let's see. He fought 8/23, which was 3 days ago. Yeah.
There you go. So he fought last weekend. There you go. I thought it was this weekend.
All right.
He keeps trying to throw him out there in front of me. Hey, you fight him first. I'm like, bro, you trying to get your boy beat up? Like, come on, man. Like, why you gonna do that to him? Like, I mean, now he's coming off a loss. Now that's gone. So I was hoping he'd win. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk. Let's go ahead and talk some speculation. There's some speculation on some big time fights that are not fully confirmed yet.
Nope.
But you got Leon Edwards.
The UFC has not come out saying that these are official.
Nope. But this is a good fight. This is a good fight. Ian Garry versus Leon Edwards is a potential matchup. John, what do you think?
This is a great matchup. This is the kind that you look at and you go, Leon is great on his feet. Ian Garry is very elusive, very good on his feet. I would say that, Garry is, the more apt to try to take the fight to the ground if he thinks it's beneficial for him. I think it's going to be very difficult for him to get Leon to the ground. He doesn't have the prototypical wrestling takedowns. He's more of a grown man learning wrestling, and his jiu-jitsu is what he uses to get the fight to the ground. But right now, psychologically, you got to say, well, Ian Garry's in the position where he's up and Leon is down. Can Leon pull himself out of the proverbial dumper that he's been in as far as losing how many fights in a row now and get himself back on the winning track?
All right, I'm going to be very controversial in this fight. I love the name value on this fight, but I think it has a chance to be in the fucking total snooze fest. These two guys are going to basically stick and move. Ian Garry's going to be on the outside trying to just punch and run. And Leon's going to, basically stick on the outside, try to use his speed. They're both, I think, equally as fast, probably. I think it has the potential of being a boring fight.
It could be. It could be a point fight.
Do you remember when MVP said, you don't want to see me and Stephen Thompson fight?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's not going to be a good fight. And then now seeing this matchup, I'm like, and then after the whole thing that we heard last week by Sean Brady going, Ian Garry turned down the main event with me in Vancouver. Another time that I missed the main event because these guys are not taking fights. And then this fight comes up. I understand if he was to take this fight against Leon, it's a way more, it's a
way more
winnable fight. And it says it might be in Madison Square Garden, which is a bigger venue or a better venue, I should say, than Vancouver. It's just a better market if you're going to be someone.
You just lost all your fans in Vancouver.
They're Canadian.
They'll get over
it. They'll get over it, John. I'll actually be up by Canada this weekend.
That was very good. Very good.
I love Canadians. I love them. I actually love Vancouver.
Fantastic Vancouver's fantastic. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes. I meant, you know what I meant when I said beautiful. There is a lot of beautiful women in Vancouver, in Canada, in Toronto.
Have you ever been to Vancouver Island?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Victoria?
Yep.
Beautiful there.
Yep. Well, there's St. George. Is it St. George?
No,
St.
that's in
Prince
Utah.
George? St. Prince George. No.
It's Prince George.
Like
yeah.
St. Prince George. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had there's been some fights up there and stuff early in my career that I went up to that I didn't fight in. I was supposed to fight in that fell through, but some of the other guys did. I think Trevor Prangley fought up there. A couple of my buddies fought up there. But I look at this fight and I think to myself with Leon and Ian, that it has the potential of being a snooze fest. Two guys really just trying to tit for tat them, almost like a sparring match. And you're going to end up with, if you're a judge for that fight, you're going, fuck my life. That's what you're thinking. Like, this is going to be one of those fights going to be hard to judge.
Could be.
What else you got for us there, Podcast Dave?
All right, let's get in the next fight here. Oh, where did my mouse go? Oh, there it is. All right, we got Josh Emmett versus Youssef Zalal.
This will be a good fight. This is going to be a really good fight. You're talking about, Josh is very, very remarkable in the fact that at his age now, which I hate to say, but he's getting up there, being in the featherweight division, but man, he's still got that power, and that power and the ability to wrestle, if he decides to do so, can always be something that can help him out. But he's going to have a very tough time as far as placing that power on Youssef Zalal. Very, very good with his footwork. He's elusive as hell. He is fast, and he's going to be much faster than Josh Emmett. And that's going to be the telltale. Does the guy who is, the slick swordsman being in Zalal able to get past the guy that's the cannon in Josh Emmett?
Well, John, all he needs is one shot. That's all
That's
he needs.
true.
He's got to catch Zalal, move left to right in the lateral movement, big overhand right, or just a straight left, like a little loopy left hook, whatever it is. He's just got to catch him moving the wrong direction at the wrong time. And if he utilizes his wrestling just a tad,
just to make him know that he's willing to go there,
it will open up the striking a lot more. The chances of landing that knockout blow will open up tremendously if Josh Emmett decides to grapple or wrestle just a tiny bit. Doesn't have to force it, doesn't have to chase it the whole time. He's just got to threaten the takedown enough to where it makes Zalal a little hesitant for a split second to throw the kick, throw the punch, whatever it is.
Yep.
And he can land the big shot. Emmett's got huge power. He's got great wrestling when he chooses to use it. And so if he can mix those two things up and make it work for him, I think there's a good chance he can get this win over the young stud. I love Zalal. I think he's a fantastic fighter. He's got a bright future ahead of him. But I think Emmett still has a lot to prove. He's still trying to be out there, trying to prove it to everyone that he still is there to contend. He's a dog. He's going to come forward. He's going to keep trying to get the knockout. He never stops. You saw that in the Michael Johnson fight, all the way to the bitter end. Then he finally caught the punch. He got him with the punch at the very end. I think in this scenario too, can Zalal take the power? I don't think he can. But can he avoid the power? There's a strong possibility of that.
Yeah.
Oh, next one there, Dave.
All right, we got a female fight here, and that's Tracy Cortez and Erin Blanchfield.
Oh, John, I'll let you go ahead and do this because I have a hard time saying anything about Tracy, man. She's
well, you look at this.
It's distracted.
This is actually a rematch. This happened in Invicta. I don't know if people remember that fight. That was.
I knew it was a rematch. I didn't know where it happened though.
Yeah, it happened in Invicta and stuff. So Blanchfield was the winner of that one. But you look and you go, hey, this is Tracy Cortez has actually really, come up in every aspect of the fight game. Her stand-up has gotten better. Her wrestling's always been good. Her ground control is better. But now when you're talking about Erin Blanchfield, you're talking about someone who's also very good on the ground, very comfortable on the ground. They're going to match up well on the ground. And so I really think this fight's going to end up, for the most part, you're going to see the takedown attempts by both to get to the top position. But I think it's going to be more of the stand-up, and we're going to see whose stand-up has gotten better. Blanchfield is the slower fighter, in my opinion, but she's actually come into her own with her stand-up. She uses her jab very well. She's gotten more comfortable with her stand-up. Then again, so has Tracy Cortez. So I think it's going to be a great fight. I think, it doesn't matter who won the first one. Either one in this situation, they just have to implement the right game plan. and execute it, and they can get the win.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean towards Tracy Cortez.
Of course you are.
Surprise!
Surprise, motherfucker! Right?
Right. John very rarely cusses on the show, but I usually carry the cloth on that. Look, Tracy Cortez to me is the better stand-up person. I think she's got good enough wrestling to stop Erin Blanchfield's wrestling. I think she got enough grappling from the bottom to survive on the bottom. It does scare me because Erin Blanchfield to me is a very dominant top position type grappler.
Yep.
So Tracy's going to be, if she fights the takedown too long and puts herself in a really bad position, it could be over. The fight could be over just like that. She gets fixed. She gets mounted.
We're going to bet a case of LMNT.
We're not betting nothing.
Yeah, I'll take Blanchfield. You've got Cortez. I gave you your pick.
John, look,
Dave, do you see him cowering out here?
I've only met Tracy once, but I'm going to call her my friend just so I don't have to bet on her. Okay, because I don't bet on my friends, and so I've only met her once, maybe twice. But I mean, I'm just gonna call her my friend, so I don't gotta bet on her.
Okay.
I think her boxing's gotten a lot better on the feet. She's a cleaner boxer than Erin Blanchfield. Erin Blanchfield does have a good jab. I agree with you on that. Tracy has a tendency to do this like little shoulder roll thing. It's like a rhythm she does. If she's got to move offline every time that jab comes and counter with something to make her pay. Yeah. If she can do that, she'll have success. But I think her wrestling is enough to stop Erin Blanchfield. And if it's not, she's got to make sure that she doesn't fall defending the takedown in a position where she ends up in side control or in mount or somewhere where it's not a good position or an advantageous position to be on bottom to try to get back up to a scramble. If she falls, she needs to be in some sort of half guard or full guard or something along those lines so she can mount some sort of offense. Or if she falls, her back to the fence and she's able to start working her way back up, fighting the wrist. She's going to have to make sure she comes in with that type of game plan. And I know it's a fight, but you cannot afford to take any chances with Erin Blanchfield in the top position, passing guard, inside control, or in knee on belly, any of those mount position, back position. You cannot fight the takedown that much to where you put yourself in such a shitty position.
Yeah.
So this is I think this is going to be a better fight. I didn't see them fight the first time, but I can simply put they weren't anywhere near as good as they are now, and they've both gotten so much better.
Both of them leveled up big time. Yeah,
absolutely. So I'm looking forward to that fight. What else, Dave?
All right, let's talk about this fight right here. It's again another one that's not been put out by any major outlets, so you might be
it's basically just like speculation, but it is a rematch. Jandiroba versus Dern. It makes sense.
It does, because the UFC is trying to get away from the double champs, as far as you can win a championship in a weight division but give it up and go to another one to try to win it. Great, but they're not going to let you hold the belt.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now it looks like Weili Zhang is going to be fighting Valentina Shevchenko. Mm-hmm. We'll see if that happens, but you saw Dana with her recently, so possibly a good indicator. Yeah, he's talking to her, and that's where he's going to go. And so the winner of this becomes the strawweight title holder. That would be pretty impressive. You watch both of them, and it's Mackenzie Dern. We've talked about how, ad nauseum here on our show, as far as all the things that she can do so well with her ground game and everything, but her ground game is not going to be any, this head and shoulders above Jandiroba. Jandiroba is a phenomenal jiu-jitsu player, every bit as good as, Mackenzie when it comes to MMA jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at this as this is really going to be about who does better on the feet. And in the first one, it was Jandiroba that actually did better on the feet. We'll see if Mackenzie changes some things up, utilizes, the talent that she has, and is able to do things on the feet that cause Jandiroba problems.
I mean, John, this is one of those they are really trying to push Mackenzie Dern.
Oh yeah.
This is a big, because I think Jandiroba is ranked number 1 right now in that division. Yeah, she's ranked number 1. You got Mackenzie Dern is where is Mackenzie? She's at number 5.
Yeah.
And you've got Lemos, Jan, and Tatiana Suarez. They were all there in between her. The Mackenzie Dern versus Jandiroba. This is one of those matchups where you say, who can we put against Jandiroba as the #1 contender if Whaley's going to leave the division?
Yeah.
It can match her. That's going to make it a fun fight in terms of on the ground. You don't want to see somebody like Verna Jandiroba come in, get the takedown, and basically slowly, methodically work their way past guard to the mount, to the back, to the whatever it is, to the finish. Well, let's put her in there against someone where if it is a vacant title, I'm using quotations here just in case. Vacant is being used very loosely. Just simply put, if it ends up being a vacant title, they want to match her up against someone that's going to make it a very exciting fight, so they get amped up with whoever wins the fight. And look, I know Mackenzie Dern has gotten a lot of flack. Oh, she's just a pretty face, or oh, she doesn't really fight. Like she can't do this, she can't do that. She fights her ass off every single time she's in there. You got to give her that.
She does.
Okay, she doesn't give up. She fights her ass off, and that. Never mind. I was going to say something, but she fights hard. She fights hard, and Verna and Jandiroba needs somebody that matches her talent on the ground like this.
And you got to figure that fight that they had was 5 years ago.
Yeah, probably somewhere around.
So it's been a long time. That was I think I want to say what she had like 2 fights in the UFC when she fought her. So
2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's a much better fighter now in the stand-up. I think so is Verna. So it's going to be interesting. But this is one of those ones. It's going to be 2 grapplers standing on their feet banging it out. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I give the advantage on the stand-up to Mackenzie Dern.
At this point, I think I might too.
Yeah. But what I do
Except when she backs out with that chin so high.
And Jandiroba, though, does a great job, though, of closing that distance, smashing the space, and getting into that clinch and doing some work where she can get her down and maybe try to make it a grappling match where she's on top and it looks like she's winning.
Yeah.
So if this fight does happen, I'm looking for an exciting fight. I wonder where they're going to place it. Does it say anywhere where it might be held out there, Dave?
October 25th for the strawweight title. It doesn't say where. Yeah, let's just double check actually.
October 25th would be no idea.
October 25th
would be October 25th.
Is Abu Dhabi.
Oh, Abu Dhabi. Oh, interesting.
That's the Aspinall Gan card.
That's kind of interesting that they would put it there.
You got 2. Both. I believe the Shevchenko versus
Whaley
is the same date.
That would be weird that they put the 2 female fights there in Abu Dhabi. I understand, maybe
trying to open things up, mister.
Yeah. Let's do it.
That's it.
What else you got there, Dave?
All right, let's hit a couple of supers here before we move on to the last 2 stories. Korean murderer. John said it was justified for Battle to be cut after the weight misses, but Chelsea Chandler has missed weight back-to-back too, and Battle clearly has the higher UFC upside. Doesn't he deserve another chance?
Chelsea Chandler.
It's as simple as this. If you're a promoter, as I've said before, and you cannot trust your employee, your fighter, your contracted fighter to show up on weight, and it's happened 3 times, it is not, unfair for that promoter to say, I can't use you and get that person and let them go somewhere else. I think the UFC likes Brian Battle. It's not that I don't think that they like him. I think they're what they're doing is they're going to teach him a lesson. Not trying to spank him hard, but they're trying to say, go show us that you can make weight in other promotions, and when you do it, multiple times, then we'll talk and we'll bring you back. And I think they would bring him back. And I don't think that Brian Battle does the things that you want to see in the cage. His problem is what's outside of the cage. And how many fighters have had problems outside of the cage, which makes it to where the UFC says we can't have you. Not making weight is a huge problem. It's way bigger than people understand, because as the promotion, I am now losing fights. I'm paying fighters money for doing nothing because they didn't fight for me, and it's just problematic that you allow someone like that to continually do it. I think that they're going to have Brian Battle go out. He's going to do a couple fights, 3 fights or so, and you'll see him back in the UFC. He's good enough to be in the UFC, no doubt about it. But he's got to make weight.
I think there's some other underlying issues with him. whether he's dealing with some personal issues or whatever it is.
Might be.
But something's going on that he needs to get sorted out. So whatever that is, I hope he gets sorted out so we can get back into the UFC so we can start watching him fight again. John and I always talk about how great Brian Battle is for the promotion in terms of his inside cage antics. Like the way he called out France was absolutely spectacular. Like, oh, you didn't think America was going to come here and lose to some French guy, right? Like that to me was awesome. I loved it. It's no different than if I ever fought in Canada. I'd say the same thing. There's no way I'd be losing some guy from Canada. Okay, but I fought a couple guys from Canada, beat them both though. But regardless,
Ash Bowman.
Ash Bowman. Is he from Canada?
Yeah,
so that's 3. That's 3. Yeah. I fought Cajun Johnson also. Cajun's
a good fighter.
Yeah. Tough fight. It was tough. Yeah.
Gangly.
Yeah, he took quite a beating. It was anyways. Okay, so but I think that all right, John, let's move on.
Alejandro Gutierrez says, I'll give a sub if Josh accepts Big John's bet.
I'll take Tracy Cortez. It's a bet.
Give out. You mean you already did take her? Okay, I got Erin Blanchfield.
What are we betting? What is it? Just a 6-pack of beer? What is it?
No, I said a case of Element.
Okay. Oh, absolutely. Are we gonna donate that case of Element to someone?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, let's donate that to someone.
Okay.
And to Andrew, or what's his name? Alejandro Gutierrez.
Okay, yeah, to Alejandro. I've already sent him a couple boxes of Element, but I actually love the fact that he's always in our chats, chatting it up with everyone. I appreciate it. Yeah, we do have to send him another box actually, because you keep sending off these subs to everyone. I appreciate you guys. Hey, you guys, we have a couple more storylines to go ahead and talk about, but before we do that, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. I want to thank you guys so much for continuing to follow our platform, and please follow us on OnlyFans as well. But on this platform, we offer memberships at $4.99 so we can get to your questions first. And go ahead and feel free to super chat us up. We'll go ahead and get to those before the end of the show. So you guys have some more time. I want to thank you guys so much for continuing to listen. What else you got for us on this news?
Yeah. All right, let's look at this one from Corey Anderson. I just thought this would be an interesting one for you guys to look at and dissect, just how the social media presence of fighters does impact like how they progress through the ranks in the UFC. Particularly, and Corey Anderson in an interview said Hunter Campbell had a conversation with me and he told me we can't give you a title fight. It's 100% that you deserve a title fight, but we can't give you it because your social media isn't there. I want to get your reaction to
that. It's absolutely exactly what they're going to tell him. Fighting is about how good you are, but it's also about how you sell. And the ability to put butts in seats. What the UFC wants to see is they want to see people are engaged with you and that they want to see you, and the numbers that you have when it comes to your social media gives them a gauge to go off of. Hey, look at all the people here. When you have a 1 million plus social media rating, they're like, people are engaged with them. We love this. When you have 100,000, they're like, you need to build it up more. And that is, this is part of when, Josh and I talk about, look, as a fighter, it's not just about fighting, even though it should be, it's not. Just as simple as it gets. So Corey Anderson is a stud fighter. He is absolutely just a fucking animal, especially when he fights the way he's supposed to, when he doesn't try to go out and knock people out like he was doing in the UFC to try to become fan friendly. When he wrestles and he does ground and pound, Corey Anderson's a fucking menace. Yeah. And so, but it's also how good you are on the mic and the things that you say and what you do. And Corey could have been put into a title fight in the light heavyweight division with the UFC and could have done well, but he didn't have the social media backing that the UFC is looking for. So they're going to go with the person who is wherever you're rated at the time. And I think that Corey was ranked somewhere around 5 when he left the UFC. And that was after a loss to Jan Blachowicz. But even at 5, they're going to take number 6. If that guy's got more social media ratings and everything, and a lot more engagement with people, they're going to take that because it's easier for them to market the fight.
Simply put, that wasn't the only reason. you know, and all the discussions that I've had with people that work for the UFC, it was his style. And that's what forced him to stand more. And when he decided to go ahead and allow that to get to him, then he allowed them to influence the way that he fought. And when that started happening, that's when he got caught and he got clipped and got knocked out. And then it sets you back. One fight, believe it or not, if you're not someone that they are really looking to push because of your fighting style, one setback will set you back 3 or 4
3
fights.
fights.
Yeah. So you need to get 3 or 4 more wins. The best remedy for any of this is to keep winning. Don't care how you do it. The John Fitch approach is the best. That's it. Just keep winning. Doesn't matter what they say. I mean, I know it pisses them off. Okay. And look at John ended up going to Bellator, doing okay over there, you know, and then Corey ended up going over to Bellator, doing well there. He's doing well right now in PFL. Simply put, though, it has to do with they will control how you fight. Once you allow them to start controlling how you fight, that's when the problems happen. You end up getting clipped, you end up getting knocked out because you're not comfortable in that position. You are a wrestler with great ground and pound, with you are just a very talented, with a huge gas tank, by the way. Very talented fighter. Okay, but your recipe for victory and success is with your wrestling, your ground and pound, your control. That's it. Don't get away from it. You've developed a really good jab. You've developed some good stand up. Okay, but you're not going to be able to stand with those top guys at an Alex Pereira. Well, you don't need to. You can take him down. A Jan Blachowicz, you don't need to. You can take him down. Those are the reasons why you need to stay focused on what you're good at. Don't allow them to get into your mind because, look, you keep winning, they'll have no choice but to offer you a title shot. And that's the problem. Everyone wants the UFC to like them. They want them to like the way they fight. They want them, no, just win. Just win, baby. That's how it goes. And the winning will solve everything. You'll get your title shot eventually. If you keep winning, they can't deny you. They can't. And they did the same thing with John Fitch. They couldn't deny him anymore. Was he had like 11 or 13 fights in a row that he had won? They had no choice. They fucking did not like John Fitch.
Bilal Muhammad.
Yeah. What do you have?
Example.
12, 13, 13, 14, something like that. Bilal, right?
No, I believe he had
I think it was 9.
I want to say 10 in a row when he got
Okay.
his championship fight. So still, he kept winning.
Yeah. You've got to just keep winning.
Is there another sport? Can you guys think of another sport where this kind of stuff happens? It was 9 fights before he beat Leon, by the way.
What do you mean?
correct.
Another sport where this happens?
Could you guys think of another sport where this kind of thing happens where like you have to impress the promoter, the leadership in order to like get ahead and the sport? Because we really like most other sports, team sports I can think of, are tennis and things like this, I guess is a single sport, things like that. But
it's the combat sports. Boxing's the same way.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But like you're not a tennis player, and like you don't play tennis, and like, oh, you can only play for the world championship if you got a good social media following. I guess the point I'm making is like how do you how do you get away with this as like a promoter, right? Like as a UFC.
So don't be fooled though in the other sports that are single individual sports. Those people that are fan favorites, or those people that have a big following, or those people that are better looking and just more marketable, they will get different rankings that they know match up well. So the tennis organization, whatever,
favorable seedings.
When you get to like the US Open, you get to Wimbledon, your ranking or your seeding will be different, where it favors the other people, doesn't favor you as much. So then you'll have to fight even harder. You're going to end up fighting tougher competition along the way. Now it's your way of proving it, but like I just said, winning solves everything. You beat those upper competitions, no one can say shit. But the odds of them matching up the way that they want you, the way they match you up, is so that you'll lose. Let me give you this person who we know is not stylistically not a good matchup for you. Tennis has the same thing. Let me give you the person who runs side to side and is known to play the baseline versus someone who rushes to the net. Like people that don't handle the people that rush to the net very well, they'll match them up in the seedings. Say, look, this person doesn't handle that type of style very well. So let's go ahead and match them up against them in like round 2 in the qualifying round, or in the 16th.
We're also talking about things like like post fit or post match presence on the microphone, right? Like how did it do press conferences?
That's not always the case though, Dave. And I know where you're
He's saying it here. He's saying it here, social media, right?
No, but you're saying post fight, like you're talking about post fight microphones and interviews.
But I'm saying in other sports as well. Like if you don't have that character about you, right? Like it's not really impacting you in the same way as an MMA or boxing, right? Like if you're just like this, whatever.
Look, I can tell you, listening to a lot of these boxers, I can't understand a fucking word they're saying. So it doesn't matter whether they got personality or not. I don't even understand what they're saying. That's one thing. Two is with tennis players, right? Like they don't all get the microphone. It just really comes down to whether they speak English or not, because a lot of them are from all around the world. Having a translator, I think I don't know if that's as important to them as, them moving on, getting some rest and they're making millions of dollars, like millions and millions of dollars to be tennis players. So I think when you get into that top 16, top 8, whatever it is, you're not concerned whether you get an interview or not. You're like, I'm getting cashed out. So that to them, getting back to my hotel, getting more rest, seeing my massage therapist, all those things are more important to them than a fighter getting the mic and having their one chance. The difference between them and a fighter is a fighter needs to say something that keeps their fans captivated until the next time they fight. A tennis player, when they win, they play tomorrow, or they get a day off and they play another day. So that's why. And then if they keep winning, then they get an opportunity to keep talking. And so they'll be on the mic, 2 or 3 times, especially when you get into that top 16, top 8, top 4, whatever it is, and in the finals. It's also a lot different sport. You're attracting a lot different type of people. So, a lot of them, I would say tennis players, there's a lot of, they're very, like even with golf, they're passionate about golf and they're passionate about tennis. But even with golf, you sometimes will run into, they don't want to give the mic to, look at John Daly. They did whatever they could to make sure that he was not in front of the mic too much.
That's because they didn't want him to slur words.
Yeah, they didn't want him to slur words. He played drunk several times. Like, he was hungover the night before. Like, but man, he was fun to watch. He still is fun to watch. I watched some of his Instagram shit. He's fucking hilarious. But you wanted to take away, he did not fit the golf mold. So when Corey Anderson, he's a fighter, but he's a very smart person. He just doesn't fit the MMA fighter mold. I think that, the way he talks and this and that, like it doesn't really fit that. He's not as flamboyant in terms of like the negative shit when he starts talking about his opponents. It doesn't come off organic because he's a good person.
But Josh, you've also said that you think that you wish if you could do your career again, you would be more vocal on the mic and things like that as a way to just kind of boost like your presence and your social media presence and
Well, Dave, you and I have had this conversation multiple times, right? Like towards the end of my career is when social media took off.
Yep.
So had I been another 2 years and had some success in that last 2 years, I probably would have triple the amount of followers I have on my social media platform. But because it didn't happen at that time and I was early rather than late, where a lot of these guys just blew up because social media blew up. Instagram blew up, TikTok blew up, YouTube started, everyone had a podcast and all this stuff. So it blew up in different ways. It didn't hit me because I was on my way out when it was coming in. And that's unfortunate. It sucks for me. But would I have done it different? I say I would have. I don't know, man. It's not really in me to be the trash talker. I got nothing but respect for every single person I ever fought, whether it's Tony Ferguson, whether it's Clay Guida, Ash Bowman, doesn't matter who it was, Gilbert Melendez, got nothing but respect. Nate Diaz, got respect for all of them. If I see them in the street, I'm going to say hi. I'm going to try to shake their hand. They may not shake my hand back, but I'm still going to be extremely respectful to them. All of them.
Alejandro Gutierrez says, imagine interviewing Dave after a boxing fight, JK.
Imagine interviewing Dave. Jeez, man. We'd have to have a translator. A Scottish accent. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into this one, John, because I know that you've been called out several times and people keep asking about this. Oh, I want to know what your take is on the Kiefer Crosbie basically claiming that or saying that he didn't get enough time to recover after the illegal blow to the head by Marc Goddard. Go ahead, John, talk.
Well, we did talk about this. We talked about it and what I thought, I said, If there was one thing that I thought should have been done differently, was that Marc seemed to rush it, and that, you know, he should have slowed it down. But with what Kiefer is saying, here's the problems. Kiefer is saying, why didn't I get my 5 minutes? You don't have 5 minutes. Okay. That's not what is there for you. The only time, you know, we said it too many times, the only time the fighter is in control of having 5 minutes is when it's a groin shot. Everything else is under the control of the referee and the ringside physician. But what occurred, and this is what occurred with Kiefer once Marc stopped the action based upon the knee to a grounded fighter, he brings Kiefer over. But I truly believe that the ringside physician looked at the cut. That's what he was looking at. And that's when he's looking at Kiefer and he's saying, yeah, he can go on. And as soon as he goes, yeah, he can go on, Marc is obligated to restart the fight within a reasonable amount of time. He can't just sit there and wait. Now, again, like I said on the podcast before, like, there's things that I would do. I would go over and talk to the commission real quick, and then I would move over and I would talk to the corner and, you know, say, well, you know, why it was 2 points, understand this. And all of that is just me manufacturing time and slowing things down. So what could have been done also is Marc could have looked at the ringside physician and said, I understand about the cut. I want you to take a look at him as far as, has he been damaged by the blow, not the cut, the blow to the head. And so maybe, you know, the doctor would have taken more time, and that would have given more time. So do I think that Kiefer should have gotten more time? Yes, I do. You know, do I think that he deserved 5 minutes? No, I don't. I'm not saying that I wouldn't have stretched it out, you know, longer and try to give him much more time. But Marc Goddard is not someone that can just break the rules and give you 5 minutes. That's you not understanding what the rules are. You got fouled. He gave you a 2 point. He gave a 2 point deduction to your opponent based upon it being what he said was intentional, and there was an injury involved. And then he got the fight going once the ringside physician said that it could be started again. And that's what he has to do. He can't sit there and just make up his own rules.
There was something else I wanted to talk to you about, because I did see that they call me my boy Apollo. He brought up a good question that I actually had the same exact question. He said, what about in the Aljo Brian Ortega fight when Aljo threw the punch and the thumb, like the knuckle hit him in the eye.
Yeah.
He got poked.
Yep.
Brian didn't fight. The ref told him to continue fighting.
Yep.
And then Aljo stepped back and was like, okay. So there was a stop, but then why? Why did Herb allow him to stop when it wasn't an illegal blow?
Well, Herb didn't allow him to stop. Aljo stopped. Look at you as the fighter.
But why did he allow Brian to continue just to like take a second to wipe his eye, clear his eye?
What you saw was Herb did a little thing with his hand, and he circled. What Herb was doing is he was notifying the replay official who was sitting there with a monitor in front of him. Hey, take a look, because he said, no, that was a punch. But hey, okay, take a look real quick. Since they've stopped the action, I'll let you take a look and you can tell me if I'm wrong. And then right away, the replay official said, no, it's a legal punch. And he tells him nope, and he gets him back to fighting. So it was really based upon Aljo trying to be a sportsman. Okay, because Aljo throws the punch. It was the knuckle that hit, but that's legal as far as the way, you know, the punch was thrown. So it wasn't like it's a poke. Obviously, I understand why Brian thought he got, you know, poked in the eye, but it was Aljo who stopped his progression of going towards him and basically went like, oh, is there a problem? And that was the reason it turned into what Herb did. But Herb was then he was trying to verify. I personally thought it was a legal blow, but I'll verify now with the replay official. Since you're going to stop, I'll verify it. Yeah, it's legal. Get back to fighting.
Got it. Dave, you got another super chat for us?
Yeah, Demon X343. There's a clip of Raja saying, they told me to hit him once. I'm going to hit him as many times as I can. Also, he even asked the chat for 50 subs and he'll KO him.
Hey, remember that thing that Tito used to do where he was just
digging
like,
a grave.
just this, and
Yeah.
it just look, if there's one thing to learn from any of this, and it's funny, I was for a moment in my life, a very dumb moment in my life, I thought, you know what, I should video more of my life.
Absolutely not.
And then this just reminded
Then
me.
then I woke up and thought,
Then I
what
was like,
the fuck was I
then
thinking?
this just reminded me, like, no, that
Yeah.
is the dumbest fucking thing you could possibly do.
Yeah.
The dumbest thing. Like, we are entertained by, remember the Real World like TV show where they all lived in like a house together, and then remember what was the show where they all, what's the one, Road Rules, where they
Big
all like,
Brother.
yeah, Big Brother, all these things, right? Like, and what did we normally, when we watched that show, what was our takeaway, John? Like, how dumb these people
are dumb as
how,
dirt.
like they know they're being filmed, and the things that they try to get away with, and the things that they do, and they think it's fun for entertainment.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen worldwide when you start putting cameras in people's faces and they think they can just act a fool? And this isn't a classic example of the camera was in his face. He'd been doing it for a while, was feeling comfortable, and just thought like, oh, no one's watching. Forgets that people are watching by the hundreds of thousands. It's just not good. Like, yeah. All right. What else you got for us, Dave?
That's gonna wrap us.
That is gonna wrap us. I wanted to talk. Are these two fight speculations? Because I know that they're coming up close. So you have Michael Morales posted a picture of him and Sean Brady face to face. That's a potential matchup.
I love that by Michael Morales, but that's a potential. That is definitely not a official fight.
That's not an official fight. Okay.
But
Dave,
goddamn,
you're supposed to save these for tomorrow.
If you're Michael Morales, man, you stepping up, man, saying I'll take on the big dog.
And then there was also Amanda Nunes and Kayla Harrison potentially fighting in Las Vegas. I can't believe, what was it? Sometime in December.
That's in December, yeah.
Yeah, and that is not fully matched either, but we know that fight's going to happen.
Yeah.
We don't have a date on that, but they're saying December in Las Vegas. But look, those two fights, they've got me pumped, man. I'm looking forward to the Amanda Nunes, Kayla Harrison fight. Has she been away too long, John? Amanda Nunes and Kayla Harrison just got to make that wait one more time. Last question is, should they just do it at 45?
Yeah. If they want a better fight, yes. I think so.
I mean,
but they can't. It's for the 135 title.
Can't they just say it's the 45 title?
Can't do it.
They used to have a 45 title.
They used to, and they got rid of it.
But wasn't Amanda the champion at 145?
She was.
She's not really gone then.
She retired.
She's back.
She's back.
If the champ comes back, the title comes back, right?
Does the title come back to him?
I don't know. That's a question I'm asking you.
Obviously not.
Well, I mean, look, have they officially announced that it's for the 35-pound title?
Yes.
When?
There's no way it's not, because Kayla's a champion. You can't have
Kayla's
Amanda come back and fight for a vacant title.
She's fighting her for
champion at 45.
But
because she retired at 45. Oh.
Take a look at their rankings.
I think you're making stuff.
Take a look at their rankings. Do you see a 145 women's?
If the two of them just agree, let's fight for the 45-pound title.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea.
I'm not saying. I think it's a great idea.
I do. There is one more, and you got to give it to our boy Chael Sonnen.
Oh,
you know that you have.
What do you have now?
Well, you have the Craig Jones Invitational coming up in Las Vegas, and supposedly Gable Steveson has got a foot injury, might not be doing it, and our man got a call. Would you be willing to take it? He comes out and says, "God damn right, I'll take it." And you tell him I'm pissed off that he asked me this way.
Oh.
So I'm not saying he's gonna get it, but our boy Chael stepping up like the big dog.
Good job, Uncle Chael. Proud of you, man.
Man.
And look, if Uncle Chael's stepping up on last minute notice, there's a lot of money involved.
Oh, fucking A.
That's what Uncle Chael is all about.
Fucking A, man.
Any of you guys know anything about Uncle Chael? He ain't doing shit for free.
Oh no.
So and he's on every single platform doing every single thing. Think about this. That guy worked for Bellator. At the same time, he was working for the UFC. At the same time, he was working for ESPN. At the same time, he was CBS, PFL. He was doing
PFL, UFC, and Bellator almost at the same time.
Hey, When you got a
ESPN.
talking mouthpiece like he does, like I said, I've been captivated by some of the takes he gives.
You weren't captivated. You were blubbering.
Right, John, he had me believing that Conor McGregor called him that day.
I know.
He's like, yo, I talked to Conor today. I was like, this dude talked to Conor today. Like, he's talking about this whole fight. I'm like, and Big John looks at me and goes, he did not talk to Conor McGregor today, Josh. He's fucking lying. And I was like, no way. He lies that well. He's like,
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
he does. He lies so well. So well. Hey, if you guys enjoyed this show, I want to thank you guys so much for listening to our platform. Hit that thumbs up, the bell, and the notifications. We drop shows periodically throughout the week. And obviously during pay-per-views, which in October, we will have 2 pay-per-views for the UFC. I will be doing a live stream during both those pay-per-views for the main card. Also, I do my final thoughts, normally the Thursday before, sometime in the afternoon, leading up to those pay-per-views. And also, I'll sometimes do them for like big-time main events and co-main events on the fight nights along those lines. So make sure you hit that bell and the thumbs and the notifications, all that stuff, so we can notify you guys when our shows drop. I want to thank you guys so much for continuing to support us. Go to WayneandMerch.com, pick up some of our apparel, and Setri Saunas is available. Hit up their Instagram page and check them out. They are also all handcrafted saunas. Absolutely amazing. Love
Setri,
it.
Setri.
There you go. Setri Saunas. Check them out.
They are phenomenal.
John, take us away, buddy.
Hey, for everyone that's out there that has watched us live, thank you so much. For everyone in the comments, we love you. Thanks for all the good stuff, and we will see you.